lot to cover here. We have a whole group of reporters out covering every angle of the fire here for you, including meteorologist Anthony Yanis, who's live for us in Malibu Hills off of Piuma Road. And Anthony, we look at the the landscape behind you here, and it just doesn't look good.
No, this is all about fuel right now because what you're seeing, and let me just show you, David was talking about this, Carolyn was mentioning this, how you can't see the top of this. This is a pyrocumulus cloud, and when we were with you a half hour ago, it was half this size. So it is completely built up. In fact, if you just look at the bottom of this where it starts, you can just see that upward movement. That's hot air, that's buoyancy, that's instability. And so what's happening is this is continuing to build up. And what it's done over the last 20 minutes is build straight up in the sky. Now, that's an indication of a couple things, that this is a very intensely burning fire, and also it's burning over live fuels. You were just talking about that. Whenever you're going over live fuels, dead fuels doesn't have a whole lot of energy with it. And you think about when you're working out, you use that energy, your sugar inside your body. Live fuel is full of sugar. That energy goes up. And so what you're seeing is this very high pyrocumulus cloud. And you can even see right there at that top of the ridge. Here we are overlooking Malibu State Park. You could see the flames there. And for right now, what we're seeing is a very strong Santa Ana wind blowing this fire in one direction. The concern is every once in a while we're getting a little bit of a gust that comes our way because parts of this pyrocumulus cloud collapse a little bit. And so you could see this one little bowl here where it's getting a little closer. It's not a natural movement for smoke or for fire to move downhill. So it's been painstakingly slow, which is good for all of the residents here because it's not really moving this way, but it is crawling in this general direction at times. I want to take your attention also to the far right. There's no fire there. Do you see that? That was the Calabasas burn scar. That burned last year, and so it didn't catch on fire because there's no fuel. But again, what you're seeing with everything else is the fuel. And again, a good example. Here's a good example of the wind. Do you see how it's coming our direction now? The predominant wind is the Santa Ana moving that way, but we just got a collapsing wind that came to us, so we've got about a 10-second wind gust. Maybe it's lasting to 15 seconds. So what it's doing is it's taking that fire and it's blowing a little bit this way. It's not a movement that's consistent, but you just got an indication of that wind gust coming our way. And there you see one of the tankers that are just hitting the edge of this because there are homes over there. So I've got one of the residents here. Come on in. What's your name?
Heidi Smith.
Okay, so this is Heidi Smith. You live close, and so you're watching this. What have you seen with this fire today?
Well, it seems to be consistently moving away from us, and we're fortunately on the downwind side. So, but we're up here and we're just monitoring the situation to know if we need to leave. We are packed up and ready to go, and don't quite know where we're going to go.
Yeah, it's tough because to go down, I mean, first of all, it's a winding road to get down, but there's only one way to get out on PCH, and that's closed, and so it is really tough, as you were mentioning. How does this fire look different than when you first got up this morning and you looked out on this view?
Well, it's definitely a lot more smoke, and the fire line has advanced in our direction slowly, as you mentioned. But we're also getting a lot of the smoke from the other fires, I think, in Oak Park. So that's making it very dark. Earlier today, it was, just a big cloud with the light bouncing off of it, and you could see the sun hitting the mountains. And now it's just kind of being obliterated and into this dark.
Well, thank you for your time, Heidi. Again, there's an optimism for the people who live here on this side of Malibu Hills because the Santa Ana winds are blowing away. But as I was showing you, the one thing that we're monitoring is if it's able to come down the hill a little bit. That's going to be a tough jog. That's honestly, that's tough without a predominant wind this way. But it's slowly crawling this way. And again, it's just incredible. We'll just leave you with this last shot. Again, whenever a fire is intense enough, there's enough fuel, you're going to get a pyrocumulus cloud. And David and Fritz were talking about this, and it's just incredible the size of this and how small you feel as you look at this, because again, a half hour ago it was half this size, and it just continues to build up as you look at where the heart of this fire is. Back to you.
Anthony, David Bigger was mentioning to us the concern here, if that pyrocumulus cloud were to collapse, then you have a whole other set of problems facing us.
and you, I don't know if you could. I could feel it. I don't know if you could kind of see it through the lens, but we got a little collapsing wind, and so it was a gust that lasted about 10 to 12 seconds, and it came our way. But I want to show you something that I know for David it's tough to see. It's leaning toward the ocean, so the natural movement for it to collapse is going to be toward the ocean, which is good. But with that said, where the heart of the fire is, if it collapses there, it'll move this way. And then also, we talk a lot about the embers and the spot fires. If it collapses and moves this way, and it moves some embers this way, you got a whole new area that's unburned, and that's something we're going to be tracking for you.
And that could put a whole lot of additional homes in danger. So we're going to keep a close watch on that one.
All right, Anthony, thank you. We now want to take you to a live shot here of Malibu. We've been keeping a very close eye on this, and you go for more